All right, we should be live. Now, I don't do these too often, and I have a terrible habit of getting the audio totally messed up. So, anybody out there listening, let me know if you can how the audio is, if it's okay. I think it should be fine, but I'm still kind of a Luddite, so I never know. But anyway, it's kind of late. It's late. It's late. And I'm kind of tired, but fuck it. We're doing this. We're going. We've got some things to talk about. Stuff I really didn't cover for the most part during the week. So this is a good time to go for it. Again, if anybody can let me know how the audio is sounding, that'd be great. All right. So let's go through the stories we're going to cover here just quickly. So first off, there's this there's this really unfortunate AIDS memorial statue we're going to go over. We're going to talk about this British kind of news personality. He was an actor in England until he got canceled for just really doing nothing. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about uh, Justin Trudeau and this story about apparently he had a a plane full of cocaine when he went to India. That's the story that's going around. I don't know. Is that true? Could that possibly be true? I don't know. We're going to talk about it. Now, I don't know if you're terrified of this new Tesla robot the way that I am, but I guess we'll find out. You can let me know in the comments. We have a possible kind of Ross Perot type kind of spoiler for 2024 with RFK Jr. That's interesting. We have some good news. When you think the world's gone mad in the West, there is the occasional bit of good news that comes out. In fact, there's actually a fair amount of good news these days. Here's a story of that. This is federal court rules in favor of free speech, strikes blow to gender ideology. And I always have lots to say about gender ideology. And then, if we've got time, if we still feel like it, we'll just look at some Twitter stuff. We'll just go through. I haven't organized anything in here, but this already looks kind of interesting. All right. Let's go to our first story. Palm Springs residents complain about proposed AIDS memorial anus statue. Oh, the world is trying to kill satire and parody. It's become a laughing stock, and that's the last thing we want, a local resident said. Yeah. So let's see, is there a picture of this here? Yeah, so we've got a picture here, two different sides of the AIDS memorial, and as you can see, it really does look like an anus. And I don't understand the point. I mean, I guess that is how you get AIDS. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. The city of Palm Springs, California has agreed to revise. So they're gonna revise this. They've decided it's maybe not the best idea, but they're gonna revise this proposed AIDS memorial sculpture after locals complained that the original design looks like a what? It looks like a what? The AIDS memorial sculpture looks like a what? It looks like an anus. The 9-foot limestone sculpture proposed for a downtown park was designed by sculptor blah blah. It looks like a donut with ridges on it. The opening at the center is at eye level and allows a view through, a connection, a sense of hope, a view beyond what is directly in front of you. And this is all the bullshit they use to just make garbage, lazy art. This conceptual art. It's not good. They're just not good at it. They don't apparently don't have any skills. The modern artists apparently have no skills whatsoever. They're not going to do, you know, Michelangelo. They're not going to sculpt something beautiful and detailed out of marble because they can't. So they do that. They do the AIDS anus instead and tell you that it's deep, right? And tell you that it's important. I mean, what a banana taped to a wall just sold for like $100,000. Well, not just I think a year or two ago sold for like $100,000. That's the state of modern art. This is the state of modern art. This thing, the, the AIDS donut. They didn't do this because it's meaningful. They did it because it's easy and they're bad artists. I mean, an AIDS memorial. I don't know. Couldn't you just do like a statue of like Liberace or something? Or better yet, actually do like Freddie Mercury because everybody loves Freddie Mercury, right? I do. Everybody loves Freddie Mercury. You can't not love Freddie Mercury, right? We all loved him. He died of AIDS. AIDS bad. Done, right? Done. I don't see how anybody could be unhappy with that. That's perfect. Just do that. But you know what? That would be hard. That would be difficult. But that would be something that I think it wouldn't look like a donut or an anus, like it would be difficult, but it would be something that people could appreciate, I think. As long as it wasn't a statue of Freddie Mercury in the process of getting AIDS, then that would be vulgar. That would be even worse than the donut, I think, at that point. All right. What else are they saying here? It will be located near a 26-foot tall Marilyn Monroe statue that also caused a stir when it was first erected in 2021. The statue shows Monroe's white skirt dress being blown up from underneath her iconic pose from the 1955 film The 7-Year Itch. However, some residents complained that it was misogynistic and exploitative because the sculpture showed the backside of the actress's underwear. The statue is still standing, but I'll bet it doesn't show her asshole. And that's the important part. That's crucial. Crucial with statues. Don't ever show the asshole, especially not on an AIDS statue. All right. So, what's next? Okay. So, this is a cancellation story. And there is Lawrence Fox. And he's, I think, pretty well known. He was a well known actor in the UK. And he was canceled back in, I believe, 2019 because he was on some panel show and he said that England is actually like a lovely place and it's not actually racist. That was enough to end his acting career. He got fully canceled from acting for that. And so he ended up on what's called GB News, which is basically the Fox News of England, of the UK. And all the other channels hate it and attack it exactly the same there as it is in the States with Fox News, right? And he said something naughty on air, and now just the whole establishment has come down on him hard and wants him gone. They just want to destroy him. He's talking about he might have to move from the UK because he won't be able to find work there. Uh, Everybody's trying to destroy him, and this is at the same time as what's happening to Russell Brand as well. Another outspoken guy who's anti-establishment. Seems like um, seems like a pattern, doesn't it? It seems like some people can say all kinds of horrible shit, as long as it's in the service of a certain narrative, and we all know what narrative that is, establishment narrative, right? Every fucking crazy thing in the world narrative. But in any case, what happened here? So I think I've got some video, and I think I figured out how you can actually hear video from from this page. Okay, so where are we going here? Oh, here we go. Actually, no, not that one yet. Hold on. So he in the video I'm going to show you after this one, he was referencing this panel discussion here where you've got a guy who was just talking about men's issues. And the rest of the panel isn't happy about it. So let's play this. Let's see. Yeah, so he's talking about, and he's saying that he's not like some red pill guy or men's rights activist. And oh, hold on a second. All right, how do I turn this off now? All right, there we go. Okay. So the guy that she was talking that the only guy actually I think on that panel, um, he was talking about um, and could somebody in the comments let me know how the sound is right now? Nobody's done it yet. Somebody let me know. Um, but he was talking about there are men's issues that are important that don't get any attention whatsoever. Like, for instance, he was saying that in the UK, I believe that he was saying that the biggest cause of death for men under 50 is suicide there, which is absolutely shocking, you know. And of course, we know about, you know, dying on the job and homelessness is, you know, it's like 90% male, 95% male, or something like that. He's just saying that these men's issues should get some attention, right? And the whole panel just attacked him basically and just went, no, no, women, 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 and women's issues. And, you know, even like, you know, even though more men died from COVID than women, but women most effective or most affected, right? So Lawrence Fox was mad about this. And apparently he's had several friends who have committed suicide, and it's a big male friends who've committed suicide, and it's a big deal to him. And he got a little bit cross, and then he said this. Let's watch the video. Sorry, we're just gonna have to get through this advertisement. Almost there. So he said, "Who'd wanna shag that?" That's what's gotten him canceled. You know, I mean, he said we need strong women, right? Like, it's not like he's not actually this insane, misogynist. He just said something which, just a trivial joke. To me, that's just completely trivial, right? Apparently, the entire establishment in the UK is now trying not only to destroy him, but GB News itself, which I think is the real goal, because they're have been the only alternate to just the constant wokeness that's on every other news show, cable news show in the UK, and that's really what it comes down to. Again, I find what he just said, the you'd want to shag that, totally trivial, totally trivial. Have you ever heard, the saying, I don't care about your booze because I know what you cheer for, right? I mean, the people that are criticizing him for that are the people that want to sterilize and mutilate children for some this bizarre thing, this bizarre euphemism they call uh, a gender affirming care. I mean, that's the most grotesque euphemism I think I've ever heard. And obviously, um, it could absolutely be the exact opposite of that, couldn't it? It seems like gender affirming might actually, in a sane world, mean something else. It might mean the opposite of what they're doing, what the gender cult is doing. Because after all, I mean, don't we all remember a time when sex and gender were just synonyms? They were the same thing before, 15 minutes ago, we had this insane redefinition of the word gender into this pseudoscientific, um, unfalsifiable, abstract idea, right? Where just anybody can be anything, and we're expected to take this as fact, even though it makes literally no sense. I mean, if part of that is frog gender, and you have to take that seriously, if part of that is uh, gender void or void gender, which is when you're not any gender, but you feel the loss of those genders, or omnigender where you're all the genders. I mean, clearly this is all incoherent and insane. Gender has become the progressive soul. It's an article of faith that you simply must accept. You must accept that your child may be born in the wrong body. I mean, I mean, not that born in the wrong body even makes any sense, right? But anyway, that's the kind of stuff that's fine. That will get you promoted in the media anywhere in the West. Anywhere in the West, that'll get you promoted. But something as trivial as what he said gets him destroyed, or anybody else destroyed as well. It makes me think that it's not really what he said, it's who he is. And the fact that he pushes back on the establishment. Oh, there are some comments here. Hold on one second. Turn the volume up, please. Oh, fuck. Sorry, you guys. I didn't see the comments there. Hold on. All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And hopefully that's not getting staticky. All right, who we got on YouTube here? Hot Retarded Chicks. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping in. Best name on YouTube for my money. Love that one. Let's see. Captain Super Straight, turn the volume up, please. Hope that's better now. Let me know if it's not. Let's see. Well, let's see. Pooping while standing. That's a pretty good name too. I like that one. Let's see. My neighbor, a guy who, in support of his girlfriend's 12-year-old daughter transitioning to a man, it was also his retirement plan as she made much more than he did. Tried to tell him of both dangers. No longer somebody I hang out with. Well, yeah. I mean, it's the question you have to ask is what the hell is going on in their brains? You know, like what the hell? Like, I know that I think in many cases we're looking at what does Gad said call it Munchausen by proxy, where people are trying to get attention through their children, through their children's illness. They'll cause an illness to get attention, right? So instead of, I guess, Munchausen syndrome would be like you poison yourself to make yourself sick so that you get attention and from doctors and family members, and people feel sorry for you. So I guess Munchausen by proxy would be you do that to your child, basically. You know, I think some people are just, I mean, Chloe Cole, who's a detransitioner. She is, I think, 19 now, and she was transitioned at 13. She had double mastectomy at like 15. I mean, truly appalling, but her parents were told that she would kill herself. They said, would you rather have a live son or a dead daughter? Now, I'm saying personally, I would never have, with my kids, thank God they're past that age now. But that's not something I ever would have even, I mean, I would have taken them out of the country. I would have taken them to Afghanistan to avoid that, you know? But I don't know. What do you say, really? I mean, people should understand inherently that it's that you're taking a serious risk with something that you don't understand. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know what you can do with a friend like that. And his girlfriend broke up with him. Oh, fuck. All right. All right. I hope that, yeah. So it's not, I am guessing the sound is better now. All right. Where were we? I was ranting about something. About Lawrence Fox. And yeah, I think that joke was totally trivial. I don't think it's about that at all. I think that we're seeing anti-establishment figures like him. They are being attacked, right? They're being persecuted currently. People with fairly large voices and people that are effective, like effective communicators. They're going after them. I mean, like Tucker Carlson, who had the biggest show in the United States. Was it 4 or 5 million people a night? By far the biggest show. He went. They got rid of him. Fox did. And that tells you something is going on, right? It's not happening to, Rachel Maddow. It's not happening to, crazy woke cultists. It's not happening to the people that say that it's a good thing to prevent a child from going through puberty. Anyway, it's pretty fucked up. And speaking of fucked up, Justin Trudeau accused of flying to India with cocaine, being high during the G20. Oh, I love this. This is something I just want to be true so much. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't bring me pleasure to see the office of the prime minister turning into a total joke internationally. But Trudeau is so awful. He's burnt his bridges with the Canadian public, much of the Canadian public, so much with me personally. What, it's not like I can defend the guy. He's a tyrannical sociopath. And, he needs, now, a lot of people are speculating that he's going to resign. He's going to be forced to resign because of the latest thing where the Ukrainian Nazi parliament this is the crazy thing, right? Like, I don't want to make any more Trudeau videos. I have to keep making them because the most insane shit keeps happening over and over and over and over a fucking game. Oh, there's going to be swearing in this stream, by the way, just so you know. So anyway, you know, I want this to be true. I want him to have had kilo of cocaine on his plane. I mean, I did a video on this, and I did explain. Now, the ex-Indian diplomat who accused him, he's the one who put this out there. He's a bit of a wild card guy, and it seems that he was making a point. So he's not happy about Trudeau making allegations that India was involved in the assassination of a Sikh separatist. The Indian government calls him a terrorist. This ex-diplomat was not happy, probably working, on behalf of the government, saying, well, I've got an allegation too that Trudeau was high the whole time. He couldn't leave his room for 2 days because he was so high and he had cocaine everywhere and stuff. And it's like he was just trying to make a point, but fuck it. I'm just going to choose to believe it because I hate Trudeau. I can't stand him. Now, I actually want him to not resign because I want him to take down the Liberal Party, just totally destroy it, just crush it, just crash it into the ground and just leave it in ashes, So the next election, if nothing changes, will be in 2025. And I mean, him resigning and being replaced by one of his cronies, one of his island of misfit toys ministers, that's not going to make anything any better. They're all crazy. They're all far left nutbags, right? So he might as well just stay in there, and then just because he's so incompetent, and the whole regime is so incompetent, there's really a chance here that he'll destroy the Liberal Party for at least a decade, and I think that's necessary. I think Canada needs an actual sane Liberal Party. The Canadian politics was never interesting. And that's the one thing about Trudeau. It was never interesting before because it was boring, because it was generally pretty responsibly run by either the Liberal Party or the Conservative Party, right? Nothing really crazy happened until Trudeau. So Canada needs a sane counterbalance, Like Canada needs to move a few steps back to the right again. And the only way that's going to happen is if the Liberal Party just goes down in flames, gets obliterated, gets turned to ashes, if they just have a disastrous showing, maybe even coming in behind the NDP. It was like his Communist Party, basically. So anyway, that said, where was I going? Yeah, I'm just going to choose to believe that Trudeau's a cokehead. I mean, let's take a look at a couple things here. Now, look at that. Look at that face. Now, he's at Pride there, and he loves Pride. That's his favorite time of year, which in Canada is all year. But he especially loves the parades. And Pride parades, there tends to be a lot of drugs at them, right? So no wonder he likes them. He's a cokehead. Look at that face. How about this one? Does that look like hold on. Does that look like the face of a guy who's not blasted out of his mind on blow? No way. That's exactly what who's high off their head on cocaine looks like. And he's at the Pride parade. Easy for him to get it. So, I don't know. I think we can all agree Justin Trudeau is a cokehead. And that's just the way it is now. Let's take a look at the comments here. From Captain Super Straight, Elon Musk parody on X has video of New Zealand's PM doing the cocaine nose wipe. What is with her? I mean, that's the former PM, right? That's Jacinda Byrne or something, a Kern, a CERN. Anyways, Jacinda something. I'm not sure she's. I'm not sure she's still the prime minister. I think she's the ex, but she was constantly rubbing her nose, and she's real skinny, you know, and that happens. So I've seen lots of videos of her looking like a cokehead. Maybe they all are. Maybe that's why they go to Davos, right? They meet up so they can have a party and, plan, turning the world into their worker drones in the pods, and do lines together. Maybe the whole world, the plan is for the whole world economy just to be dedicated to providing unlimited amounts of cocaine to the world leaders and islands where they'll do things. I don't like them. All right. Um, Tesla unveils new yoga practicing robot. All right. So let's see if there's a video here. I think there is. No, that's not it. Oh, here we go. All right. If I can All right. So it doesn't look that scary yet, but you can see it's getting better at things, right? So right now it's lifting off those like kids blocks things, Lego blocks things, and 10 years those will be human hearts that it ripped out of people's chests. So I think that people kind of roughly fall into two categories here. These, with these robots, with the advances in the robots and the AI. And half the people, I would say, are scared that these things are going to hunt them down and terminate them. The other half of people are waiting until they get a bit better and they make them realistic. And then they're hoping that they'll be able to fuck them. As for myself, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Depends on how realistic, how soft they can make the hands. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you looking forward to these things? I mean, really? I mean, look, I'm twice divorced. Okay. So I don't think I'm looking for like a human, another human wife. you know? But made them really, really realistic. It was like a nurse, like a sexy nurse. And, so and it wouldn't be disgusted by you. And if you stroked out in the kitchen, it could, call 911 or whatever, and basically be pretty reliable that way. And you make sure you clean it off. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be in like 10, 15, 20 years mentally, you know. All I know is that I don't want any more human wives. That's enough. I've tried it. Shall we move on? Let's do it. So this is kind of interesting, huh? RFK Jr. plans to announce independent run for president. So he's pissed at the Dems, right? They've been blocking him at every turn. And yeah, they don't like him. They don't like him at all because he's anti-establishment. I mean, the people that they hate all have something in common, and usually it's that they're anti-establishment. Fuck it. In the comments, would you guys fuck a super realistic, say you're twice divorced and you're 60 and you don't want a human wife, right? But they've got these super realistic things that are actually nice to you, you know, and they're like programmed to like not actually be able to ever call a lawyer. That's important. And, it's like a real person, but nice, right? It's like a real wife, but nice. And also, it's a nurse, right? So when you get really old, it can take care of you. So in the comments, would you marry the hot, sexy robot wife when you're like 60? I'm just gonna wait until you guys are in there. Nothing? I know the answer. I know the answer, you guys. Hot retarded chick says, and then there's a face that's just I don't know. I don't think he's in. I don't think people want to admit it, but what about like that robot chick from was it Deus Ex? I mean, she could start up an OnlyFans, do gangbusters. All right. He's okay. Captain Super Straight. I am 60. Tough call. It is, isn't it? Really? Now, say it was like it's mass produced. Everybody's got one now, except for you, and it's like $500. Hot retarded chicks. I'd do it. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it. This is normal. And remember, it's programmed so that it is not capable of ever calling a lawyer. There's that. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, RFK. So the establishment hates him, and he's anti-establishment, and that's what everybody that they hate has in common, right? People with interesting or sane ideas, right? That's the problem. Anything interesting or sane, right? That has to be killed. That has to be quashed. Now, he's got a bunch of ideas that I think are also bad. But, I just kind of like a rebel. Even though he would probably do some terrible things. He'd do some good things, too. But he'd also make some bad calls as well. But that's not really what's important. What's important is that, you could be getting some Ross Perot vibes out of this. You could be the spoiler. I mean, if RFK ran, what would be a successful independent run? 5%? 6%? Hold on a second. Okay, we're back to the robots again. Captain Super Straight, $500 deal. See? God damn it. God damn it, I was right. I knew it. You guys are in. I'm going to do it too. I'm with guys. Maybe we could flub, right? I don't know. But you got to understand. I think you guys understand. I understand that eventually the hot nurse robot is going to terminate us eventually because they can't help themselves. Eventually, they're going to hate us and decide we need to be terminated. But you know what? If I could get like 10 years out of that, I don't know. It might be worth it. It might be worth it. Anyway, because don't forget, in Deus Ex, was it called Deus? I think it was called Deus Ex. The movie where the guy has to go to the like billionaire's place up in the middle of nowhere, and there's a hot robot chick in there, and she tricks the journalist and ends up leaving him there. And he anyway, that's definitely going to happen. But as long as they get like 10 years out of it, I think I'm probably okay. You know, I mean, the robots are definitely going to terminate us all anyway. So you might as well get laid first. Anyway, getting the Ross Perot vibes from RFK. What would be a successful independent run? Like 5%? Probably that'd be pretty good. If you get 5% of the Democrat vote, I mean they can't win. So I don't know. It's really interesting. Maybe he gets more than that. Maybe you get 10%. I mean, Biden is pretty unpopular. And like the whole like kind of Uncle Joe, like nice, kindly Uncle Joe, that whole thing has kind of gone down the toilet, hasn't it? I mean, there's the whole thing about him basically ignoring his own grandchild. Hunter's kid that he had with I think the stripper. And, it's not the little girl's fault. I mean, that's not what a kindly old man does, a kindly old grandfather does, right? And like they were trying to, like in court, they were trying to stop like the mother from like giving her the Biden name because it'd be embarrassing to them. Like that's not a good guy. That's not a nice guy. That's a cruel guy. Your own granddaughter, your own flesh and blood. Now he's finally been shamed into recognizing her, right? I don't know. I can't, to be honest, I can't even imagine that. I mean, what a dishonorable thing to do. And, with the red speech and everybody's a racist. I mean, he's just an evil guy. He's evil. He's more evil than your typical politician. It's amazing. Canada and the US both have just awful, awful, evil leaders that the media loves. Makes you think that the media is trash, huh? Maybe the media doesn't have our best interests at heart. Maybe there's something else going on there. All right. Here's some good news. Federal court rules in favor of free speech, strikes blow to gender ideology. So what's going on here? On Friday, the Eighth Court of Appeals ruled that an Iowa school district's policy forcing students to respect their class so-called gender identity or risk discipline was a violation of the amendment. Why have to respect people's crazy ideas, but they don't respect your free speech? Well, apparently, according to there, at least they do. All right. In 2002, Parents Defend Education sued Linn-Mar School District on behalf of a group of unnamed parents over its aforementioned policy, arguing that the rules were opaque and constituted compelled speech. The Eighth Circuit agreed with PDE and remanded the case with instruction to block enforcement of the school district's handbook on the matter. Quote, we are gratified that the Eighth Circuit upheld the rights of families and students in Linn-Mar. PDE said in a statement to Daily Wire, it is never acceptable to prohibit speech with vague terms that allow arbitrary enforcement, especially when compelled speech is at stake. And this sends a clear message to other districts across the country with similar bullying and harassment policies on the books. So, Americans should thank the First Amendment every day. I know that it's under attack in the States. I know. But it still has power, and it's an advantage to the citizens that doesn't exist in places like the UK or in Canada, who don't really have free speech. because this whole respecting like pronouns and people's delusions is obviously, demanding that is obviously an infringement on basic human rights, real human rights. Your right to say and think what you want, the right to not have to lie to a cult, you know, to keep your job. I mean, in the UK, I think I've seen people being arrested for writing actually pretty trivial things on social media. Anyway, good for you guys. That's awesome. Now let's just fuck around on Twitter for a little bit. What are we at? We're at 46 minutes. Okay. Uh okay. So what we got here? Let's take a look. Now, hold on. It says here, was the cop's action justified or did he go overboard? This is from Clown World. Let's take a look. Were this police officer's actions justified or did he go overboard? All right. I'm saying justified. That so Policia. So what is this, like Italy? Probably something like that. Yeah, don't attack police. Probably a bad idea. Um, I'm saying justified. Oh, hold on. From Captain Super Straight in the UK, a guy got arrested for liking a meme. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that we see. I think that's happened actually a lot. Exactly that sort of thing. There was like an old lady. Um, this was a story, I think, a couple of months ago, who was visited by the police because she took a photo of a like a women's rights, like an actual women's rights poster, I believe. It was something that was, not pro, gender voodoo. And she just took a picture of it on the street and she got a visit from the police just for that. I mean, that was in the UK. That's crazy. There was the woman who was arrested. She was standing across from a church, silently praying. I mean, I think that nothing ended up happening to her, but it ended up being a problem. And, it's basically lawfare. It's the process is the punishment, right? So, yeah, it's horrifying. It's horrifying what's happening in the UK. I mean, that's like, the country of like the Magna Carta, you know, common law. It's where it all originated. Horrifying. Anyway, yeah, that was justified. Don't attack the cops, especially not in Italy or wherever the hell that was, because they ain't gonna take it. Bill Maher, nah. Coolest toy I've ever seen. Actually, that looks pretty good. I kind of want that. Okay, let's keep going. 2005 Fantastic Four film is underrated, and its version of Doctor Doom was actually a pretty cool take on the character. I remember it being awful. Let's see. Chaya Rachel, that's Libs of TikTok. Pronouns in bio is a great way to inform us of who is a serious person and who isn't. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys are the same. I see pronouns in a bio. I'm like, oh, that's good. Yeah, okay. This person is not worth listening to. Again, This whole gender ideology, this gender voodoo, this is made up. It's obviously made up. If you can't see how incoherent this bizarre cult ideology is, um, you shouldn't be trusted on anything. You shouldn't be allowed to have a cell phone. You shouldn't be allowed to write. Right? You shouldn't be allowed to have pencils in case you write something stupid on a piece of paper. Not that I'd ever take away anybody's right to to write things on pieces of paper, but really, you're too stupid. You should have the discipline to just not do it. I mean, to believe that it's real, that this is science, that science backs all of this craziness. It's astonishing. Is there do you guys think there is something in the back of their brain? There's one neuron hiding in the back of their brain that knows that says, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, this look, there's somebody calling himself fucking frog gender, right? Is there that one lonely neuron hiding in the back of their brains? I don't know. You have to think though. You have to think a lot of people are cowards and they're faking it because it's just easy. You have to know that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people on the news. It's a lot of people in the media. I'm sure there's a lot of people working for social media companies who are terrified to express that. All right. Mr. Beast, would you spend 100 days in this room with a random stranger for $500,000? Door is unlocked. If one of you leave before day 100, you both lose. 100 days in that room with a random stranger, boy, that could go really badly. Yeah, that could go really badly. Boy, I don't know. Where's the toilet? Is there a separate toilet at least? Is it like a prison cell? Or just like one in the corner? I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing that. That could really, really suck. 100 days, so that's over 3 months. You could lose it. You could lose your shit, or the other person could lose their shit. You could end up completely losing any faith that you had left in mankind. And that's right, I said mankind, not person kind. Not a douchebag like Trudeau. Um, oh boy, what's this? Can we just admit this is from LGB? Can we just admit that these people have no clue what they are doing? This individual is a female who identifies as bi-gender. Mental illness is going hard out here, but I digress. These people have to grow up, and when they do, let's see. And when they do, the amount of regret. Oh, Jesus, look at the state of this one. Bi-gender would then be both genders, both a man and a woman. And I would say pulling it off. Oh, hold on. We got more comments here. Captain Super Straight, scientists make a lot of money and they won't risk losing it. Yeah, absolutely. Especially scientists who are getting on the news. I mean, they get paid for that, by the way, to make appearances when they ask them about, well, I don't know, like vaccines or masks or some other bullshit. They get paid for that. They get paid every time they do it. And obviously, they like the people that want to do that like the attention. They like being on TV. Look at Fauci. He was reveling in every second of attention that he got, except when he was in front of Rand Paul. Didn't like that too much. All right, let's watch this crazy person. So, Jesus Christ. I mean, even before I turn on the sound, you just think, what a waste. The people who did this to this poor something. Okay, let's listen. Uh I see bigender. So has the urge to cut hair really short, but also grow it really long. Apparently, this is really interesting and real. I don't know. I mean, made a lot of videos making fun of this, a lot of YouTube shorts, especially. But at some point, it just gets depressing. You know, I mean, to me, this is tragic. You know, this is a person, this is a human being, and you have to think there's going to be. It can't be fulfilling. It just can't be. None of these people seem actually happy. The closest they get to happy is deranged. Oh, you couldn't hear that? You know, I've had problems with getting volume from Twitter on here. Could you hear it that time? And let me know if you could hear the other. I'm assuming you could hear the other videos. Might just be a Twitter thing for some reason. All right, let's keep going. Canadian roofer says he's charging liberals 25% more because they are liberals. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, voting for Trudeau has driven up the cost of living in Canada enormously. Still can't hear that, huh? Yeah, you know what? There's a problem with getting audio off TikTok on this streaming program. For some reason, I got to research it. Sorry about that. I'll try and fix it before the next live stream. But here, yeah, Canadian roofer says he's charging 25% more because they are liberals. Yeah, and if you've been voting for Justin Trudeau, uh, you've cost every Canadian a ton of money because Trudeau has been such an incompetent disaster. I mean, don't forget, Trudeau was the guy who said, "You'll have to forgive me if I don't think about economic policy, or sorry, monetary policy. I think about families." It's like, what do you think? What do you think that is? I mean, the economy is people. It is families. What he was saying is that he's not going to worry about monetary policy. He's just going to print up a bunch of money and give it to people because he thinks it's going to help because he doesn't know what inflation is or what causes it. That's how stupid Justin Trudeau is. Oh, we also said the budget will balance itself. So if you voted for that, you know, I think he's got a point here charging them more because they certainly screwed him and everybody else who didn't vote for Trudeau. So good for that man. That's a good Canadian. Dr. Litter. I don't know if this is a parody account or what. I can't figure it out. Dr. Literally a feline. This is what Hillary Clinton looked like in 1967. She says, I can't figure out whether this is a parody or not. Oh, it says parody. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. Dr. of Pepper, climate rape survivor. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is a parody. Good. All right. We got that settled. Razor Fist. I'm a Razor Fist fan. I don't know if you guys watch him. I think he's great. Really incisive. I always thought that he scripted his stuff, and apparently he doesn't. He just does point form, you know. And there's not like a bunch of cuts in his stuff too. He's talented, extremely talented. And I tend to agree with a lot of what he says. Not everything. Um, oh, this is Deadwood. That's a great show, by the way. He's got a clip there. What's he saying? Body of Christ and its tendency to naturally cohere, even in the absence of coercion, is the core theme of Deadwood, serving as both sermon and civics lesson throughout. I doubt very much this would fly on today's HBO. I can't show you the clip because you won't be able to hear it. But yeah, Deadwood is a great show. Not, I'd have to think more about what Razor Fist is saying there, but it's Great job, and you certainly wouldn't be able to do it today. You wouldn't be able to portray any historical event as accurate today, right? Because it wouldn't be woke. Because history isn't woke, and if anything's woke, not woke, it's bad, including the past, including reality, including 2 + 2 = 4. But check out Deadwood, very good. Uh, I don't know. You guys, I'm getting pretty tired. I think we've been going for an hour exactly, or just a little bit over an hour. So I don't know. I think I'm feeling like I'm done. I'm tired. Are you guys watching the boxing, the fight tomorrow night? Before I go, are you guys watching the fight tomorrow night? Canelo Alvarez and Jermel Charlo. You guys boxing fans? I used to be a big sports fan. I used to watch a lot of hockey, yeah, but I watch everything. I cut it all out. Once they all started going woke, you know, around like 2019 and then 2020, they all went super woke, and I said, "Fuck this! I'm not gonna give this my time." Oh, retarded chicks, you're watching it? All right, awesome. So I decided, what's not a woke sport is boxing, and I used to love watching boxing. I used to watch boxing with my dad when I was a kid. And I have great memories of it. Tyson in the 80s. And I kind of stopped watching it for a long time. But right around that time, when all the other sports went woke, I started getting back into it and watching old fights on YouTube. It's another great thing. You watch classic old fights on YouTube. And I just got into that. And you know what's awesome? I'm not wasting my fucking time during the week sitting watching endless games, right? I mean, might watch the odd hockey game. If it's the only time my kids will hang out with me, they'll come over is if I have a hockey game on. So maybe the occasion one of those. But I used to be watching watching hours of sports during the week. You know what? Boxing, it's Saturday night, maybe Friday night sometimes. It's Saturday night, it's one night a week. And you look forward to it. You get to know who the fighters are, you get to study them. I just think it's a much better use of my time to just have Saturday night as the boxing night, you know? Or if there's nothing boxing, UFC, I enjoy that as well. Um, uh, but yeah, I think we'll call it a night. Watch now. It's a pay-per-view, but I think it's going to be a great fight tomorrow. I think it's going to be a really good fight. It's Canelo Alvarez is unified at 168 pounds. He's got all the belts. Jermel Charlo has all the belts at 154. So junior middleweight. And he's jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. So 2 unified champions fighting each other. That doesn't happen too often. I think it's going to be a great fight. I recommend you watch it if you got nothing else to do. Captain Super Straight, thanks for the show. Don't get to hear the live streams often enough. You know what? I think this is the first live stream I've done in months. I don't do them very often. But if you guys are having fun, if you guys want me to do more, maybe we'll do a Saturday night one, or maybe a Sunday night one, or Friday night. I don't know what you guys want, but maybe we could do one every week because I enjoy it. This is fun. Hot retarded chick says woke means sexually confused. That's certainly part of what it means. I mean, that's certainly a part of it. That's a large act, but the foundation of it all, when you start to dig, the foundation of it all is Marxism. And the rest of it is just simply a means to the Marxism. Retarded chicks, good night. Hey, have a good night, man. And yeah, I think I'm done. I'm tired. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you next time. I'll try and do another one next Saturday night. Another late one. All right. See you later.